What's up, YouTube? This is DBZ439 bringing you a really interesting deck known as Zing Graydles. As you all know, the new support that came out is Graydles, and what they do is usually they take control of your opponent's monster. It's really cool because you can sync with them. You can just it's just a total nightmare, and it's a really fun deck. So without any further ado, let's go on to the deck. Starting with the main deck. Start with the Yang monsters. We run 2 Go2. The monster count is really like it's really hard to fuse the two decks together because there's so much cards you can put in, and so usually people would think that you'd run 3, but 2's sufficient. Then you run double Chiwen, 1 Tao Tai, double Suwani, double Bayan, double Big C, 1 Palau. That's it for the Yang Zings. Just a general effect for them, real quick. They're really floaty, and so when they die, you can destroy a battle or by a card effect. They can bring out another one, and I have all the levels besides level 6 one. I didn't have space for him, and Tao Tai. People are wondering why I would run him because there's Graydles and Kaiju's and stuff like that, and so this card's actually pretty good. It's level 5. So yeah. That's about like 12 Yang monsters. And for the Graydles, the new cards that came out, I run double Graydle Slime. You don't need to run 3. In fact, you can even run 1 if you want to. But what he does is, if you control 2 Graydle cards, you can destroy them and special summon this card. And when this card is special summoned by this way, you can special summon a Graydle monster from your graveyard. And so, usually the Graydle monsters are level 3. So the next ones are Eagle. When he's destroyed by battle or by monster effect, you get to take control of your opponent's monster and attach it to it. Yeah, it's probably one of the better ones because it's the big beat stick. And with Graydle Slime at level 3, you can go into Graydle Dragon really easily. Next, you run double Alligator. I don't run 3, although I wish I could, but I don't have space in the deck. If he's destroyed by battle or by card effect, he can take control of your opponent's monster. And next, we run triple Graydle Cobra. If you destroy a battle or by card or trap effect, then you can take control of your opponent's monster and attach it to it. So yeah, that's pretty good, and it helps you make synchro plays more interesting because if your opponent plays different types of decks with different levels and stuff, you never know what you're gonna bring out. So it's pretty cool. And that's about 10 Graydle monsters, and that adds up to 22 monsters. Next, you run triple Graydle Impact. Really interesting card. I felt like this should have been the super, not the other trap card. This card's really busted. Pretty much, you can target one other Graydle monster you control and destroy it. And if you do, you can destroy one card and put it out of the field. Or you can, during the end phase, you can search a Graydle card added to your hand. So that's really good. It combos well with Alligator. If you can use this effect to pop the Alligator to destroy a back row or monster if you like, and then you can take control of your opponent's monster. So that's pretty good. And you can only use the effects. You can only use one of these effects once per turn. So yeah. Then you run double Path. Yeah, usually people would run 3 in Yang Zings, but like I said, the deck's really tight in terms of space, and you only run 12 Yang Zing monsters. And since you speed through the deck so fast, like it's easy to get those 2 cards. So yeah. And then you run double Supply Squad. Now, some people hate it, some people like it. Usually people don't like to run it in Yang Zings, but in Graydles it's so good because they have to destroy your Graydle monster. And you destroy your own Graydle monster using like Impact or Slime or even Dark Hole, which is the next card. So I mean, you plus off so much, and the deck's so consistent because of this card. So yeah. And then last for the spells, you can run 1 Dark Hole. So the spell line is really small, but still the trap is the heart of the deck. So let's get on to the traps. We run double Breakthrough Skill. I don't run Fiendish Chain because 2 reasons. One, it's a continuous trap card, so it takes up a spell or trap zone. And 2, Breakthrough Skill, just in general, in some situations in today's meta, it's better because its graveyard effect's really good. And yeah. Then we run triple Graydle split. Probably one of the most broken trap commons in the game. It combos so well with the Zing monster, and I'll explain later when I get into the extra deck. But pretty much you can attach it to any monster you control that gains 500 attack. And during your main phase, you can destroy that monster and this card. Excuse me. Just put summon 2 Graydle monsters from your deck. And so, two things. One, if you combo with Cobra, you can use Cobra effect to take control of your opponent's monster. Two, if you use a Yang monster, for example, you get to destroy the Yang monster, special summon another Yang monster, and special summon the Graydle slime and the Graydle monster. So that's really good. And yeah, I'll go into more details when I get to the extra deck. And next, you're on 1 Graydle Parasite. I'm not a big fan of this card. When I was playtesting this deck, I ran 2, but then I realized it wasn't that great of a card, and I tended to destroy it using Graydle Slime because it was just a waste of space. Because the thing is, you usually have monsters on your side of the field because your Yang monsters always float and whatnot. So you're always going to have monster presence, but when you don't, this card comes in handy because if your opponent attacks you directly, you get to special summon a Graydle monster directly from your deck. And that's really good because either they have to attack a Graydle monster and you take control of one of their monsters, or they just don't attack. And the other effect is really interesting. If you do a direct attack with the Graydle monster, I believe, and your opponent controls no monsters, you get to special summon a monster from your opponent's graveyard to their side of the field. Now, people would be like, what the heck, why would you do that? So pretty much you can, let's say you attack with Cobra and they have no monsters on their side of the field. You can choose any monster from their grave. It's like a really powerful monster. I don't know. Let's say Red Eyes Black Dragon, for example. You attack with Cobra, sure, you lose 1400, but you can take his Red Eyes Black Dragon and attack at 2400. Depending on that, that could be game. So yeah, only running one of this is fine. And then obviously triple Yang creation. Just anytime a monster dies by battle or a card effect, you get to special summon the Yang monster. It just makes plays. And last of the traps you run, this is Skill Drain. This is not a Solemn Warning. This is Skill Drain. You don't want to run Solemn Warning. Skill Drain kills so many decks, you have to run Skill Drain. So yeah. I just don't have one. It's coming in the mail. Real quickly, let's go into the side deck. Double Veiler for Monster Negation. You gotta run it. Then triple MST. I don't run Fairy Winds because I do have a lot of continuous spells and traps that I want to keep on my side of the board. So triple MST works just as well. Then I run double Poisonous Winds. I don't see people side deck this card. But Magic Spectres is a thing. Arrow Mages is a thing. Any deck that uses wind monsters, this card kills it. So yeah. Then double Mind Crush. A lot of deck searches now these days, so Mind Crush is always good. Double Lion Imprisoning, double Shadow Imprisoning, and double Imperial Iron Wall. So yeah, that's for the side. And now for the extra deck, I run one Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, and the other card is Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. This is Bane, and the other one's supposed to be Abyss. Sorry. Not Black Rose. I have it, just not with me right now. Really, really easy to summon both of these guys. It's really a 2-card play. All you got to do is summon a have a Yang monster inside the field and Graydle split. So what happens is you summon, you have a Yang monster, you activate Graydle split, and you tribute the Yang monster, special summon 2 Graydle monsters. So the 2 you usually summon are Graydle Slime and a Graydle monster, and you get out this guy. Next, the Yang monster dies, so you get the effect. So you either go into Chiwin or Geo2, and you can sync into him or the Abyss guy. But usually you want to go into Abyss, sync with Chiwin with that to get him, and then use his effect to inflict damage, and then you get to special summon more tuners from your deck, which are your Yang monsters, distribute it to special summon him, or you can special summon Hot Red. So I just felt like that was a cool tech. But, so yeah, let's continue on with the synchros. Just Leo, because it's Leo, Trish, Chao Feng, really busted card. I really like Chao Feng. And then the Hot Red, Stardust Spark. Only one Baxia. Since I do run a lot of level 8s, I had to cut down somewhere. So this is where I only run one of. And then double Graydle Dragon. Really, really good card. It's so easy to summon. Pretty much, he destroys 2 cards, and if he dies, you get supposed to summon a Graydle monster from your graveyard. And so, if you have one already in the grave, and you already have one on the field, and you destroy the one on grave or from field, you can supposed to summon the other one from grave, and it's just an endless loop. So that's awesome. 1 Yazi, 1 Black Rose, 1 Goya, 1 Armades, and an old entity Haster because it's essentially another Graydle monster. Alright, YouTube, thank you for watching so much. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any suggestions, please put a comment down below. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.